But I can tell you this: if you're another school and you had Texas A&M coming to your regional, that's something you're going to have to be concerned with.
Well, hello, friends. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. David Nuno, Carson Stein, Cade Bickham, all a part of this conversation for you. Wait, was that on the solo shot? Then went on the wide shot. Bickham, let's just grade your performance on the show today. How do you think you did? I'm looking at the wrong camera. That's great.
I would give myself a B to a B plus.
A B to B
range.
plus.
Yes.
How did Allie do?
How did Allie do?
Yeah.
She gets like a C minus, C plus. Yeah.
Bro, you're not.
She's just standing right there.
She's a full-time employee, and you're not. That's not going to work out well for you there.
Well, that's fine.
Carson Stein, your debut on the program. How did it go for you?
I'll give myself a B. Just flat right down the middle B.
Okay,
Only one non-mic press.
Only one today.
That's pretty good. I'd give him a B plus, maybe an A minus.
So we're a minute.
We're moving.
We're a minute into this, and we haven't talked one thing about what happened on the show today. Carson, your favorite part of the show?
I'd have to say Schloss. I always love it when Schloss comes on, getting insight from him.
Yep, he was great. Cade?
I thought Connor O'Gara was great.
Okay, all right. You know what? One time it'd be great. Just one time. Just one time it'd be great for somebody to be like, you know what, David, you were great today. You had great takes, your interview skills, but never. It's always about everybody else, which is the way it should be. We had Aaron Torres on the show on a highway. He was good, and Slow B was on the program. That and more, it's the Rewind. All right, here are the three options. Happy Gilmer.
Uh-huh.
I said it like the Gilmer Girls.
Sound like Gilmer and
Yeah.
East
Happy
Texas.
Gilmore. Weldon. Happy Gilmer. Billy Madison. The Waterboy. Those are your three options. What are you
Okay.
buying? What are you selling? What are you leasing?
Mama says take Waterboy. Buy the Waterboy. So I'm going to buy the Waterboy.
You're buying the Waterboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will lease. I will lease. What were the other two? Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmer and Billy Madison.
You're gonna. I don't know that I've ever seen either one of those. Not full. Not all the way through.
Really?
Which one where he punches Bob Barker?
That's Happy Gilmore.
So I'll lease Happy Gilmore and then I'll have to sell the other one.
Happy Gilmore's great. It's a fantastic movie. It was on the
I've
other day.
seen
My dear
pieces
friend
of
Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed,
Yeah.
dear friend,
the late great.
the late great Apollo Creed. He was in there.
Okay, so which ones are you buying, selling, leasing?
Oh, I am buying Happy Gilmer. God, why do I keep saying Gilmer? Happy Gilmore.
Gilmer, Texas.
I am
Gilmer Buckeyes.
leasing the Waterboy, and I'm selling Billy Madison, which is I think the one that made him like a cult icon. Like I think, but of those three, that's how I go.
Well, I'm a football guy, you know.
Yeah, you are.
So
You are.
But you know what's the best Adam Sandler movie I ever saw? And it's not a
The
comedy.
NBA movie,
I like that one, but it's something
The
about
Jewels.
Yeah, the jeweler guy.
Yeah.
Man, that was a very disturbing.
I don't think I saw that
But
one.
it was good, and what's the name of that movie?
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
I didn't realize we had Adam Sandler.
It should be brought to you by David Carter's Jewel.
Right.
It is such an emotional movie
It
that
is.
you're tired. You're fatigued at the end of it.
Schloss, ideally, you want to be playing your best baseball of the season in the postseason, right? But how much does how you're playing at the end, this series moving on, matter into postseason success?
No, I mean, of course it matters, you know. It matters. I mean, you want to – we haven't played great. We haven't played horrible, but we haven't played great the last two weekends. The other teams have played really well. We haven't – it's mainly offensively. We've been out of the strike zone and just been out of character in many ways. And the players are aware of that. We had a good practice yesterday. We had a good meeting with the hitters yesterday. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. But like I said yesterday on one of the interviews, you know, every team has a story, and I believe in this team. I believe in, I mean, obviously we know what we're playing for, whether it be, you know, a top four finish in the league or seeding, you know, stuff like that. We know what all that means. But I can tell you this, if you're another school and you had Texas A&M coming to your regional, that's something you're going to have to be concerned with. So hopefully we'll get to play at home in the postseason, at least one round. hopefully 2. But if we earn the right, but we have to play well, right? So yeah. Do I want to win this weekend? Of course. Do I want to win next week? Yeah, we're playing for a championship next week, and we want to win any championship we're playing for. But at the end of the day, we can't do anything to jeopardize. I think we've earned the right to at least be in a postseason in the NCAA tournament. And so we just have to be ready to go then, because frankly, that's why we play all these games, to put yourself in a regional. The only way to get to Omaha is to be in a regional. And so ideally we'd like to have some momentum going in. But the most important thing is that we're healthy and ready to go the first weekend in June.
So earlier you said you were high on Haynes King. I know you're bullish on Connor Wigman. Why are you so bullish on him?
I just think the sample size is been really promising when he's been healthy. I think that you look at the numbers that he's had facing pressure, facing the blitz, and like go back and watch that Miami game.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not a believer in Connor Wigman, go back and look at all the different pressure that he faced and how, like, seemingly every time he's on the field, it's like, all right, well, the A&M secondary just got gashed and he's got to go put up a scoring drive, or else, he's going to fall behind even more. The interceptions in that game are the only interceptions he's thrown as a starter, where, you have an Anaya Smith drop, and then it's a play late where, he's just trying to make something happen on 4th down in a 2-score game. So I love what I've seen so far from Wigman, the mobility that we saw flashes of as well. You can't just turn around and play man defense on him on 3rd down and expect to be able to lock down and get off the field if you're a defense. So I like the things that he brings to the table for Colin Klein in this offense. I think they're going to run a unit that is similar to what he ran in high school as well, which made him a decorated 5-star recruit. And I'm just more of a believer that if he can stay right and stay healthy, you can kind of overcome the questions that you might have up front on that offensive line.
So if he can stay upright, stay healthy, and that means obviously the offensive line comes together, which has been a big question the last few years. And Jimbo's best years, the offensive line was great. This is a new era. If that happens, you think they can potentially be in the playoff conversation in November?
I'm not willing to get there yet. I think A&M, I know I took some heat for this. There are people that didn't like that I set the ceiling at 8-4, but the problem is that it's still 10 consecutive road losses. Until that comes to an end, it's hard for me to sit here and go, 9-3. And I realize 4 biggest games of the season are at home. That's huge, working in A&M's favor. What is it, like 3 of the 4 road games that A&M has are against teams that didn't play in a bowl game last year? That bodes well. The streak should come to an end this year.
Aaron, it's like you listened to our first segment on the show. Yes, college football is becoming more prominent in the discussion. It's always prominent on this show. But like now where I feel like people are getting angry, people are having outlandish takes, people are just saying stuff. Like it's that time of year where, I go on the offensive or the defensive. I've noticed that though, like people are like now having hot sports takes, and they have, they're making these comments, and that just means that we're so much closer to SEC Media Days, which obviously means we're a week or 2 away from starting training camp and what's it called? Fall camp, I should say. And then we have the games.
Yeah, and I talked a little bit about kind of, again, it's almost like the NFL last night. Like we knew the week 1 schedule, but we obviously got dates and times, and like, I kind of threw out some hot takes on my show today. Nothing outlandish, but a couple things, and I'll throw them off of you. I think obviously, look, week 1, we know A&M's hosting Notre Dame, but my week 1 it's really 2 week 1 hot takes involving those games, neither of which involve A&M. The first one does involve A&M's week 3 opponent, though. I know it's May. I know David Nuno is anti-May hot takes. But Miami is a small favorite at Florida in week 1. And I just look at that Florida schedule, and I say, if my one hot take, and I'll share the other if you care. But I hate to be the guy that's already striking up the coaching search in May. But, like, if Florida loses at home to Miami, and they may, Vegas has them as a slight underdog, I just don't see Billy Napier having the year that he needs to retain his job in the year 4. Now, let me ask you, on the David Nuno May hot take scale, is that a hot take? Is that a medium take? Where does that sit on the scale?
All right, so a couple things. I like hot takes when they're well thought out and formulated. Okay. All right, Carson, I know you know what to do because you've watched the show and you're a TexAgger and yada, yada, yada. So it's not as fun to have your first time, but tell the people what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe, share it to everybody you know. Everybody, even if they don't like you.
Do you actually do that? Do you actually share, like, do you like send it to people who aren't like you've got to watch this content?
I have before.
Can you also tell the people where to get a slick gold chain like you have on?
Baseball player style, right? Are you a baseball player?
No, not at all.
He's a Tarleton Texan.
See, Nick's got it.
Do Tarleton Texans wear chains? Am I missing something?
I don't know about all that,
I
but
was gonna say, you look like you're from Miami. That's all I'm going to say. That's a good thing. Like, those are my people, sir. All right, we'll see everybody next.